What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be diving into the latest Dungeon Quest sneak peeks and developer announcements for the upcoming dungeon. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we jump into what's inside this new dungeon, I know there's one question everyone's asking. When will it be released? While there's plenty of speculation, the developers recently shared an update roadmap outlining all the planned updates and how long they'll take. Here's the roadmap in question, and we can see that the release is expected 4 to 6 weeks after September, which means we could see the launch between the 23rd of September and the 13th of October. Another point worth noting is that last year, Yokai Peak was released on the 13th of October, making it highly likely we'll see this new dungeon around the same time. I'm seriously hyped for what's coming, especially with the recent wave of sneak peeks revealing the holy grail of Dungeon Quest, the lore. If you haven't decoded the cryptic messages yet, here's a summary. The Cranny were a kingdom of dragon-like beings living in peace within the gilded skies. Their king, Vitalis, thrived alongside the Lumen Flame entity. However, their sworn enemy, Voidborn, the god of the void, launched an assault, capturing Adalis, queen of the Cranny. Voidborn used her to manifest in corporal form until the chosen one, T, accepted to save her. The latest cipher hints that to rescue Adalis you must defeat Voidborn and destroy his physical form. These story elements strongly suggest that the upcoming dungeon will center around the Gilded Skies, Voidborn, who will likely be the final boss, and the key characters, Ty and Adalis. I'm beyond excited to see how this unfolds and have high hopes for this dungeon. Recently, a Dungeon Quest developer shared some major balance changes coming to all dungeons, including adjustments to mobs and bosses. This wave of buffs and nerfs affected every dungeon except Desert Temple and Winter Outpost. As for Yokai Peak, I have to say, the increased difficulty might be a good thing since many players felt it was too easy. While some YouTubers are claiming this update as, quote, saved Dungeon Quest, I'll stay optimistic and say we'll see the real benefits in time. With these changes in mind, it's likely that the devs also have fine-tuned the damage and health mechanics for this new dungeon. The real question is, will it be as challenging as it should be? Though this ties into the previous point, I think it deserves its own spotlight. In Yokai Peak, we were introduced to the concept of having 4 bosses, which was a departure from the usual 3-boss setup. While I think most dungeons should typically stick to 3 bosses, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of seeing 4 bosses in the upcoming dungeon. If this is the case, and it extends the dungeon's length, I suggest that the devs consider adding extra rewards or more EXP to compensate for the added effort. Other YouTubers have raised this point, and I definitely agree. Yokai Peak takes longer to complete than previous dungeon, largely due to its additional boss. To wrap things up, I want to address something important. Dungeon Quest has had a rocky history with Voldex, and it's now a significant chapter in the game's story. DQ isn't as popular as it once was, and like many of you, I'd love to see that popularity return. I'm holding out hope that this update will bring back a portion, if not most, of the old player base. If the devs listen to the players' feedback, it would really benefit the game in the long term. Now, that's not to say that everything Voldex does is bad, it's just that there's definitely room for improvement. I truly believe that this update could be the key to revitalizing Dungeon Quest. Whether that means restoring what's been lost or simply reconnecting with the community, I hope this update will be the game's turning point. Well, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.